TK's Garage, OC Motivator, and I hate to say we told you so, but we literally told you guys so months ago that the Hemi was coming back. And not just a 5.7 Hemi, more than that. Yet we're still labeled as toxic third-rate YouTubers until some mainstream journalists decide that it's really real news, what we actually report on months before everyone else. But what if I told you we know exactly when the Hemis are coming back and is already starting right now? Well, I'm over 40,000 friends and the 65% of you guys not yet subscribed. You already know I have had beef with my own outlets just like TK's Garage. I've had beef with Motor Trend, The Drive, Stell Power, and even some other YouTubers who try to discredit what I report. I've been doing this for years. I've said that, the elephant would show up in a final edition Challenger, and then you guess what? Dodge finally admitted that it was going to be in the Demon 170. I called it out that a new luxury edition Ram 1500 was going to come out, and then next thing you know, we have the Tungsten. I told you guys that the new next generation Charger will have Hurricane, Hemi, and EV options, and I had to call out Racer X when he started to push back that what I was saying, acting like I didn't know what I was talking about, because actually, unlike everybody else, I was reading the patents that basically proved what I was saying and also talked to engineers. So, still love you, Racer X, but I'm just saying that I have a track record of being right. Now, TK's Garage just had his own little spat with Mopar insiders for similar stuff of being discredited on things that he said as well. But this is a trend that we've had faced, me, TK, OC, that we're toxic YouTubers, that we be guessing and stuff, or we're trying to get discredited on things they report, or that we're guessing all this other stuff, or we don't know what we're talking about. But the point is that TK's Garage, OC Motivator, and myself, we all have sources. We share what we hear amongst one another, we verify it across the board, and then we bring it to you, which TK usually brings for everybody else because he apparently don't go anywhere but in front of that daggone camera. But this is all just to say that this year we're going to level up our reporting, so stick around because we're going to drop some very interesting gas. And no, I'm not talking about the stinky kind, but TK and OC Motivated know exactly what I'm talking about when I say gas. Wink, wink. Now let's talk facts and not guesses. I'm sure everyone has seen Mopar insiders finally reporting that the Hemi is going to come back to the US at the Dundee engine plant. And like I said, it's going to start production in August. But what if I told you that Stellantis is going to start producing the 5.7 Hemi engine earlier than that? And I know exactly where it's going to be made at. In Mexico. TK's Garage shared a Stellantis powertrain doc with me. Now I'm not gonna post the full thing online and get his source in trouble, and I don't think he's posted it in a video yet. I know he's talked about it in a video, but he hasn't shown the actual full thing, so I'm not gonna post the full thing in this video. So I'm gonna give you guys a little snippet just so you can know that yes, this is an actual real document, and yes, we don't be guessing when we call out things. We actually see things, we actually hear things, and then we actually report on things. But here's what I can tell you about this document. Now, Stellantis is preparing to build at least 600 5.7 Hemi engines per day in Mexico by July of this year. Now, you do the math. Now, in a month, if you do 600 engines a day times 20 work days, that's about 12,000 Hemis before August even starts. Now, I'm not going to say the exact number that they're going to actually ramp up to, but that's still regardless a lot of Hemi engines for a Hemi truck for a production plant that can make up to, I think, about 1,500 trucks per day at the Sterling Heights assembly plant. But the document does tell you everything you need to know, especially about other powertrains going into Jeep vehicles and other vehicles like that, but we're going to only concentrate on Ram. But Ram will be ready to drop in the 2026 Ram 1500s 5.7 Hemi V8s the moment that they switch the line over in August. Now, I know the source told me that the usual summer shutdown was pushed from July to August, probably give Mexico enough time to build up a stockpile of 5.7 Hemi engines. But that's not all. The same document also shows production ramping up for the 3.6 liter Pentastar, and they're going to actually do overtime shifts. They're going to be scheduled at both of the Salto and the Trenton engine plants. Why? My best guess, because it doesn't tell me exactly what vehicle these engines are going in, But my best guess is Dodge are going to put the Pentastar back into the Charger for the 2026 model year. Now that makes a lot of sense to me because Dodge originally only announced that they're going to put the Hurricane engine, which would have pushed the actual base price of the base model up to the mid $40,000 range if they only put in the Hurricane engine. Now that to me is not affordable, and Dodge and Stellantis is having a pricing issue. And the Pentastar for the past several years made up over 50% of past Charger and Challenger sales. It is the volume engine of Stellantis and the volume engine of Dodge, especially in their performance cars. A lot of people want to pretend like they have Hemis and Hellcats and stuff like that, but they can get into a car that's very cheap and modify the car to look like the Hellcat cars. I've seen that plenty of times before, and I think there's going to be the same trend, especially with this new car, which every one are going to be wide body. So why not put a Pentastar in there for people to pretend like they have Hemis and Hellcats in them? I'm just saying. Now, this document said they're going to ramp up overtime in Salto and Trenton up until June, which is right around the same time that 2026 model year Charger is expected to switch over for the 2026 model year. So unless they got a surprising new model coming soon, that Pentastar is likely going into the new Charger to keep the price down and production flowing. The only other vehicles I can think of that you're gonna need a bunch of new Pentastars for is the RamCharger, but I think pricing is gonna keep that vehicle from being attainable to a lot of people, especially since Ram, and I'll be respectful, my dear friend, I'll be very respectful, Tim Knesses.
Thank you.
I think that Ram is hesitant. I'm not gonna say scared. I remember the last time I called you scared, but I'm gonna say I think Ram is hesitant, given that they don't want to even release the base price for the tradesman RamCharger. Just saying, or just being respectful. Now back to the Hemi. Now I believe that Stellantis will temporarily, and I'm gonna say temporarily, I think they're gonna build a 5.6 liter Hemi on the same exact line as the 6.4 big gas engine Hemi that's already in Mexico. Now to me, honestly, this is a very smart move because they already have an existing Hemi line already there in Mexico that never shut down. The previous Hemi line that made the 5.7, the 392, and the 6.2, that line was shut down 2 years ago, and I reported on that in a previous video, and it's currently making the actual 3.0 liter Hurricane engine there that's going to be in the actual Dodge Charger 6-pack cars. It's in the Wagoneers currently, and it's also in the Ram 1500, which I'm going to point this out because I said this in the other videos. 1 year without the Hemi engine, the Ram brand lost almost 16% market share in one single year without a Hemi engine, and it went through an upgrade. The interior is different, the exterior looks different, and they still lost 16% of sales in 1 year. They need a Hemi engine, and they need it as fast as possible. The 5.7 liter Hemi and the 6.4 liter big gas engine, they are incredibly similar. They're both based on the same Gen 3 architecture, and just mainly the main difference between the Hemi and the big gas engine versions, from what I can tell, is that basically the big gas engine Hemi is basically the exact same block. I think it just maybe cast thicker, and it just basically just built like that for reliability in the Ram HD trucks. To me, honestly, Ram is very important for Stellantis. They cannot bank on the fact that they're trying to get the US plants up and running to build Hemis, because there's always delays when it comes to actually getting this stuff set up. So Ram cannot afford to sit around and not make engines for the next 3 months until August. Well, hold on. March, April, May, June, July, August. Well, 5 months until August starts. They need to start making engines now because they're going to need to pump the market full of Ram 1500 engines. And honestly, politically, because I'm gonna get political for a second here, President Trump has already said that he's gonna tariff the auto industry by 25% if they import products from the actual Canada and Mexico. So to me, honestly, I think that if Stellantis shows Trump good faith by saying they're gonna move the Hemi engine back to the United States, that he may give them a actual tariff waiver. That way they can actually ramp up production for Hemi engines, give customers what they want, and then they'll be able to save their bacon. Now, like I said, I think this makes perfect sense to me, especially building in Mexico, because it gives them the room to build Hemi engines in bulk and then transition over to full US production once Dundee or Kokomo, which I think Kokomo makes a lot of sense to me. I heard that one recently pop up because Kokomo has a casting plant already there on site, so they can cast the Hemi block there, go next door, finish the Hemi build out, and then ship the engines over there from Indiana to Michigan for them to go jump in a bunch of different vehicles in the Michigan plants. Now, the document only confirms that the 5.7 liter Hemi engine is going to be made in Mexico. So I don't know yet right now if the 392 or the 6.2 liter supercharged Hemi V8 engine that we all know and love is going to be made in Mexico with the 5.7. But what I do know based on the document that the 5.7 liter Hemi is going to be made in Mexico and is going specifically in the Ram 1500 trucks. The document specifically said 5.7 and DT, which we all know the DT is a code name for Ram 1500. Just saying. Like I said, this plan right here makes a lot of sense to me. That way Stellantis and Ram can have a big supply, especially by July, and then they'll have enough engines to start dropping them in the Ram 1500 for the 2026 model year starting in August. Now, word around a campfire from another one of my sources says that they are already building a Ram 1500 Mule that already has 5.7 liter Hemi engines already being built in them, and it went down the assembly line over the last few days. So just like I leaked the TRXs were on the line back in 2020, months before everyone knew they started coming out in December, just like I knew that the Charger 6-pack Hurricane Mules are running around right now, especially in the 2-door and 4-door variants. Those mules mean that the production version of that vehicle is going to be coming within the next few months. And I'm calling it now that you're going to see the first 5.7 liter Hemi engine in the Ram 1500 in August. And then you'll probably start seeing them show them on dealer lots sometime around September. And then I guess magically you're going to start seeing that these press outlets going to magically suddenly discover that this is happening. Just saying. But what do you guys think? Do you think that I'm guessing, or does it make sense that Stellantis is going to use their already existing, currently running Hemi line to get a jump on production of Hemi engines to put inside of the Ram 1500 by August? Are you guys waiting for a Hemi in the 2026 Ram 1500? And would you take a Pentastar and a Dodge Charger if it means they're going to be cheaper than 40-something grand? And do you think we'll see a 392 and a Hellcat return before the end of this year? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And until the next time, I'm out.